Hi, and welcome to the Elephant Method podcast. I'm so glad you made it. My name is Lisa Courtney, and I'm going to be your host today. My guest is Laurie Deviscourt from France, and she is going to share with us about her battle against anorexia, as well as her new career as a massage therapist, and what it's like living in France but traveling to work in Switzerland. So, let's go ahead and get this episode started. Glad you're here. Welcome to the Elephant Method podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Now, can you tell our audience where you're from and what you do?
Okay, so I'm Laurie. I am from France, and I live in an area just near Switzerland. And what do? I am a specialized teacher in Switzerland.
Specialized in what?
Educator?
Education?
Yeah, in education. I work with adults and who have mental disability.
Oh, sure. And how long have you been doing that?
It's been 4 years. Yeah, 4 years.
And so you actually commute from France to Switzerland every day?
Yeah, every day. Yeah, well, from Monday to Friday. Yeah, I have my weekend off, and in this field, it's important to say because some of my colleagues have to work all the year. But yeah, it's near from my home. I work 15 minutes away with tram from my home.
You take the tram. Wow. And what do you find different between the supportive care in France and supportive care in Switzerland?
Well, it's pretty kind the same thing. It's the same job, but because of the conditions are very different. Because in Switzerland we have money, way much more money than in France. That changes everything because in Switzerland you can have a choice of the activities you want for your residence. You are more free, just that, and you have more recognition from my bosses than in France. It's very interesting, and maybe you're not motivated by money because you don't you don't have a good salary with that. So a lot of people who works in France with this job, it's a passion.
It's a what? Passion. And can you tell me, because you mentioned two things, you said that Switzerland has money. What's the difference between Switzerland and France regarding money?
I think that because Switzerland has money, the economy and the sectors are, yeah, we are more free. I think it's about freedom because in France, because you don't have a lot of money, you don't have the same comfort, and the comforts can lead you to maybe doing more things you would like. In Switzerland, it's very common. You don't work at 100%. You have partial times. For me, as an example, I work at 70% of my times. So it means that I work 30 hours per week. But it's okay. It's okay because it's good money and I can work in France. But in France, you need to work in full time.
Oh, excellent. And you also said that your bosses are good at recognizing you. Can you give me an example?
I think we are more in connection with our direct boss. So there is a lot of bosses hierarchy. So my first boss, we have a great connection with her, and she is really she is always grateful with what we do with our residents. So it's a good mood with them.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's nice having a safe place to work, right?
And I'm sorry, I would add something that in Switzerland, because I am in public administration, every year we have a race.
You have a race.
we have a raise because it's public administration.
Uh-huh.
So it's a great motivation too, because we have like steps in our professional life.
Sure. And you don't have that ability in France? They don't give raises?
Not like that. In Switzerland, it's each year.
It's mandatory.
So it's very regular. In France, you can have one, but a single one or punctual one.
How interesting. Okay, very good. Now, so I want to pivot just a little bit because you also do a humanitarian effort, and it kind of shocked me the first time I heard about it. Is that right? You speak to someone on death row. Now, where is this person located, and how did you make that contact?
That's very funny because I wrote to him this morning.
Oh,
Well, his name is James, and he's from Florida in the US.
Oh,
And now he's arrested in a prison in Florida too. And he's in death row since 10 years, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you make that connection? What made you want to first? What made you want to make that connection?
I saw a TV show. That's simple. I saw a TV show where people needed to explain their stories, particular stories. And one of them, the subject was have a correspondence with someone on death row. And it was very interesting subject. And I was very curious about it. And when I heard the stories, I was telling myself, and if I tried that too, and that made me just search that on Google, and I took the first website, and it was the one. I would say.
Wow. Well. And was it hard to start the conversation?
Well, that's a funny question. The person I have a conversation with now is not the same. It's the second one. So this is an association which made a connection between people and prisoners, and they made me a conversation with one prisoner. His name is Jonathan, but Jonathan told me he didn't have time for me.
Oh, in prison.
Yeah, in prison, right? He had to write a second book, so he didn't have time. So he proposed to me to change and met one of his colleagues in prisons, who was James. So it was a funny started between James and I, because we spoke well, because Jonathan didn't have time for me. Well, here I am. Nice to meet you. And it was pretty simple, yeah. To respond to answer your question, it was pretty simple to speak to him.
I really love the idea of him telling you, I don't have time in prison. I'm shocked a little bit. Yeah. But it's honest, right? It's honest. So what do you think has been your greatest reward about connecting to someone within the prison system? On death row.
Yeah, particularly in death row. I was very curious, but also I wanted to do something good. I wanted to discover what it feels like to be in there in death row. I think that almost whole the population doesn't know how is it in death row and which are the conditions. So I wanted to not to be blind with that, and I wanted to see. And James is very honest with me, and he explained me a lot. Very interesting. And I think that the greatest thing for me is that I try to give him positivity and something light.
Yeah. Has there ever been a time where things got uncomfortable?
Never uncomfortable. No.
No, that's so sweet. And approximately how old is this young man? This man, I don't know how young he is.
He's young. Yeah, you're right. Well, he's 30. He's 30. So he's been arrested when he was 20.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and 10 years after, he's still in death row, and he doesn't know when he will be executed.
Yeah, wow. That has to be challenging. How does he fill his days?
When he wake up, he has 1 hour, 2 hours outside, but it's not too much. And after that, he can chill with his colleagues in prison, and he wrote too.
Oh,
He writes. Yeah, thank you. He writes a book. It's
everybody's writing a
useful.
book, huh?
Yeah, totally.
Uh-huh.
He writes a book, and it fills his day pretty much.
Very good. Okay. Well, let's pivot a little because you recently started something new within the past couple of months. Maybe it's been three. How long has it been?
Since September, last September.
It's a lot longer than what I thought. So you recently took up massage, right? And you are becoming certified to be a masseuse. How did that get started?
Well, I always have a theoretic mind. I've always been in my mind, and I thought that my brain was my first and only tool.
Uh-huh.
But I wanted to try something else, something out of my comfort area. So I tried massage because it was on just the touch sense, and it was a great experience. I wouldn't say a bad start, but so it's one weekend per month, and at the end of the first, second, third first month,
Mhm.
I cried at the end of my weekends because it was so much emotions and strange things to me, to my body. It was very discomfort.
Did you expect it to be that uncomfortable when you started?
I didn't expect that. No, but I told me that it was a great thing. I love crying. I can cry a lot. It's okay for me.
I'm with you. I think, well, for me, I really believe that crying shows strength, right? Because a lot of people don't cry because they hold their emotions in. And it takes more courage, in my opinion, to really cry and let your feelings be shown.
I agree with you, and I think that crying is for our regulation,
Mm.
emotional regulation.
Did you learn that as a psychologist?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Now, after you've been working with a number of clients for the last, oh gosh, how many months? 7 months? And
Mhm.
what is the best feedback you've received from your clients?
Well, there are two type of feedbacks, if I have to be honest. The first one is it was the greatest massage I have received.
Uh-huh.
Of course, it's a great compliment. I love that. But the second one, it touched me more. It is, oh, I never did a massage in my life. You're the first one. It was a good experience. And for me, it's the best thing I can hear because they trusted me in that moment, and it was a good experience. They maybe want to retry next month, and for me, because it's a new experience for me, I can share a new experience with someone else. So it's a great feedback from me.
Oh, and trust is so important, right? When you're dealing with the body and getting a little personal, right, at times.
Yeah, totally.
So, what's your favorite type of massage that you do, and how does it benefit others?
Hmm. The best type of massage I do, I think I prefer the body massage
Mhm.
because I am trained too for the Kobido massage, the face massage, who is from traditional Chinese. But I prefer the body massage with the global one, because it feels like I'm dancing around the person. So I like it.
That's a beautiful description. How wonderful. I'm dancing around them. Now, oftentimes practitioners have to take care of their own bodies, right? Where they're working on others. What's one way that you do that for yourself?
I try.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Um, I experience backaches, so I totally feel how much it's important to take care of my body. I tried and I began 3 months ago Pilates,
Uh-huh.
and it's a great moment for me. And so I stretch a lot my body too. It's a good one for me. That is for my body and for my energy, my mind, to take care of my spirit. I would say um, I have rules before my massage, after my massage, like a preparation time before and after. I wash a lot my hands, like remove all of someone else's energy. Outside that, I would say I take care of me by with reading or spending time just alone without anyone.
Right. Well, it's really interesting because you had an issue with like an eating disorder previously. So you learned how to take care of yourself. When did you decide to address the eating disorder that you knew it was a problem and you had to do something about it?
It's a pretty hard question because I don't have a single moment of awareness or I was saying to myself, oh, okay, I need to change. This is a long way of recovery. And I had multiple moments of changing. I had anorexia. So when I had it, it was just for a year. And after that, I wanted to change, but I didn't recovery just now, just at that moment. I changed my habits and then I rechanged my habits again and again and again in order to one day I don't have any more any eating disorder.
Wow, that's amazing. How long did it take you to come out of that cycle?
I would say 5 to 7 years.
Oh, that's a long time, right?
It's a long time because it's just not about the body trouble, the body issue of anorexia. It was way more. It was about my mind. I would say that eating disorders, it's just not a body thing. It's a spirit thing. It's about regulation and how we can function again.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is a piece of advice that you could give someone with anorexia or an eating disorder that they could use in order to help themselves?
Yeah. Okay, I would say pretty the same thing I said, but it's really important. The body is just the symptoms of your spirits. So if you want to recover, look back at what you think, your mind, and especially your emotions, because I think it's about regulate your emotions and it's about losing control. People with eating disorders doesn't want to lose control, but control is about emotions. So you have to look back to your emotions in order to recover.
Ah, that is so amazing. Well, I know that I'm really proud of you. It couldn't have been an easy journey. Yeah.
It wasn't.
I can only imagine. Well, I appreciate you sharing that with us and hope that, this information can maybe give someone a helping hand because it can be challenging to do it on your own. Did you have a helping hand in it?
No, and that's a big deal because I think it's a reason why it lasted 7 years. Maybe I had one of my dear friends who had two eating disorders, but because she was followed by therapists
Uh-huh.
and a whole team, it lasted less time than me. I obviously I recommend to have therapists or just professionals around them, around us. But I would say for myself, it was a good way because it was just me against me. So I had to try and I had to search for resources just with my own. And it was a big challenge and I didn't lost time, but it was a long time. But now I know who I am and uh, why I did all of this.
Yeah. No, so you discovered yourself at the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, truly amazing. So, was there anyone in your corner that you said you had a friend that also had an eating disorder? Could you reach out to this friend for any support?
Yeah, yeah, sure. And I did.
You
I did. And that was thanks to her that I not discovered, but I was aware of my eating disorders
Oh, that's so fun. Now, I'm so happy about that. Did she discover her eating disorders before you or after you?
before me.
Before you.
It was before me. And, we were a bunch of friends, and inside that group, we were three with eating disorders, three girls.
Wow.
So it was a lot. And I don't know if it was our environment. I don't know why, but we were a lot. And so we spoke a lot between us. And I remember that friend told me, you need to go you need to see a doctor. You need to do something. But it's pretty hard, even for people who understand you,
Uh-huh.
because it's an individual battle.
Absolutely, absolutely. What is one contributing factor to maybe your shared experience with your friends? What was one contributing factor to your eating disorder?
I didn't
Sorry?
understand.
Sure, no worries. So what I'm asking is what's one cause that you kind of tied all of your eating disorders to that was a central reason?
Hmm. Well, that's a great question. I didn't thought about that since now,
No?
until now. Sorry. Um, I don't think there is an only reason. For me, it was about the pressure. Yeah, maybe it was the pressure,
Mhm.
because we were in with a good education, with close parents and close family around us. And so I think there were a lot of pressure, even if our families don't put the pressure, but we felt that.
Yeah.
And I think that it doesn't help.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Just in case some other people are kind of going, do I have it? Do I not have it? Right? Kind of give them a heads up. I do also want to change subjects one more time because you had shared with me that you were once at a round table with native and non native English speakers alike. And I would say that you felt small at that point. Could you
Mhm.
tell me about that experience or share with our listeners?
Yeah, sure. So I visited a friend in Brussels, in Belgium, and she is an English native speaker. So she speaks three languages:
Wow.
English, German, and French.
Uh-huh.
She's pretty good at languages,
Uh-huh.
and she invited me for in a bar with some of her friends. All of them spoke English because they were in an English training. So
Oh.
all of them spoke English, but some of them were native
Mhm.
and others were non-natives. And as you said, I felt so small because I didn't speak English frequently. Yeah, it was just at school. So I spoke at school, but after that, I didn't practice myself with English, with expression, I would say. So it was pretty hard for me to have confidence. And that's true that I was like a stranger, so I was not important in the team. And it was pretty hard to have a place, have a place.
Yeah. I'm curious, do you think you would enter the conversation if you were there in that same situation today?
Today it would be different.
I'm so happy
Thank
for you.
you, Lisa.
Yay! I'm so happy. Well, and it's so interesting because I don't feel this conversation would be complete if we didn't talk about your very special boyfriend, my friend Remy, right? Could you tell
Yeah,
us about him and what he does?
yeah, sure. Well, yeah, thanks to Remy, because he's the one who links us. Remy is my boyfriend, and I have to say it's been a year and a half we've been together this day.
Congratulations. Wow.
So he's my boyfriend, and what does he do? He is a web developer. He took English classes with you in order to improve his English too. He's pretty good at web developing. He's very intelligent.
So, also, why don't we give a shout out to his new development? What did he create recently?
He created a platform for developers as him, and he put IA between developers and clients. So he proposed for developers to have clients, but as he said, in that field, developers don't want human in front of them. I'm a social girl, so I don't understand that, but
Me either. Me either. Totally. And what's the name of the platform?
it's
AI is my employer.
AI is my employer.
There we
And the acronym is I AIME, and it's French. It means love.
So sweet. Very beautiful. Well, and it's so fun because I got to experience both of you when I was in Paris this last December. So, can you tell me a little bit about what you found shocking, what was surprising, what you enjoyed?
I was obviously enjoyed about our meeting. I think I was surprised, and with the time distance, I would say I was shy.
You're shy, really?
I think I was shy, and I think now it would be, I don't know if I would be more spontaneous, but it was a great time. And I remember that Remy was so excited of meeting you, and he spoke a lot because he wanted to say a lot to you, and it was very kind. But I think that it changes a thing between us because there wasn't a screen between us, and it was off classes too.
Yeah, but you guys the whole day had to talk in English. How was that?
So it was an experience because in Paris, we don't speak English, but it was a great experience. It was a great training because, we don't speak that long in English.
Right.
But I liked it a lot.
It was fantastic. And you guys were amazing. I was so grateful to have you with me. Yeah, it was perfect. So you mentioned in the past that you felt small when you were around the group, right? And now you have more confidence. Can you tell other non-native listeners what you would recommend they do in order to become more confident?
Well, beside having class with Lisa, no, I would say, it's practicing. It's just practice, because I felt small, and in some ways I always feel small in other situation, in spontaneous situations. But now, and I'm so glad of it, I am more fluent because I practiced with you since a year. So for a year. So I think actions is the best thing in order to be more confident.
Right. Well, I know I'm really proud of you, and I think that you express yourself well. So it's really lovely to have you on the podcast, and I'm so grateful for your time and your beautiful smiley face. So makes me very happy every time.
Thank you. It was an honor for me. Big privilege to be here.
That's fantastic. Okay. Well, again, I just want to thank you for coming on the Elephant Method podcast, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.